Every YouTube creator knows the truth. Your title and thumbnail make or break your video. You can have the best content in the world and still flop if your click-through rate sucks. But what if I told you there's a way to automatically analyze the best performing titles and thumbnails from your top competitors in seconds? And here's the wild part. This build is inspired by Nate Herc. He's a legend with N8N, and I'm gonna show you how to build it for free. Before we get started with the build, I wanna show you how this works. So you're gonna have a Google Doc. In the first tab, you're gonna have the links to your competitors. So if you were to go to your YouTube channel of your competitor, just go ahead and copy this link right here. Paste here. For this example, I've went with the how to make a YouTube video niche. I'm using some of my favorite creators, and I'm gonna show you what this machine can do. So this is the workflow. I've manually executed the workflow, but you can schedule it to weekly, daily, hourly, monthly, whatever. But it's going to be manually executed for testing purposes. Once everything's done, all you have to do is go back to your Google Sheets and go to the second tab. And this is where all the magic happens, right? So everything here will be sorted out by best views, basically the best videos of your competitors within the last 30 days. And you can customize how recent you want it to be within the day, within the week, within the last 6 months. And I'll show you how to do that later in this video. But the first, you have a channel. So we have the 3 channels here. We have the title, we have the video URL, which you can go to. We have the thumbnail, which you can also view. You have the number of views, likes, and the power words recognized in the YouTube title. I'm going to show you how I prompted the AI to figure that out. An analysis of the thumbnail of why it worked so well. And this is just so beautiful. And a total of 14 videos were analyzed in a matter of seconds. The first thing you're going to need to do, you're going to have to download these tools. And they are free. I'm gonna leave a link to the correct ones in the description. You will get a 14-day free trial with N8N. And for Appify, you will get $5 free credit that is replenished monthly. And let me tell you, that is plenty to do thousands. It's like $5 for 1,000 scraped videos. Click those links down below, make an account for these tools, they're free. Once you've done that, we're gonna go into our N8N. You're gonna go into overview. You're not gonna have any of this. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna create a new workflow. So click that. Like I mentioned earlier, if you wanna schedule this workflow weekly, daily, monthly, the trigger you wanna use is a schedule trigger, okay? And go ahead and set it to the time frame that you want. Weekly, the time of day, you can set it to a specific hour. So we're gonna leave it at weekly. Let's drag that over here. The next thing we're gonna need to do, we're gonna have to somehow pull this data from Google Sheets into our workflow. Google Sheets, we're gonna select that. And we're gonna go to get rows in sheet. You're not gonna have an account if this is your first time. So go to create new credential, click sign in with Google, and just follow the steps. Plain and simple, then hit save. You should be good to go. Resource will be sheets within the document. Operation will be get rows. For the document will be from list. You're gonna choose down below. So I wanna choose a Google Sheet that has all those accounts that I manually pasted in here. So I titled it YouTube TN and title research. TN for thumbnail. So we found it here, and then from list, which sheet we want. If we go back, it's gonna be sheet that is labeled accounts. We're gonna look for that. There it is, okay? Let's execute it, and we should see that data flow in here. There it is. We have 3 items here. From here, we wanna clean it up a bit. We wanna get rid of this and maybe name this something else. So to do that, we're going to need an edit fields node. Hit the plus sign, type in edit, hit edit fields. Then we're gonna drag over the accounts. Make sure you're in schema, drag this over. I'm gonna change this to channels. Let's test it out. There you go, looks a lot cleaner. Now, next thing we wanna do, we wanna be able to send that link to our scraper to scrape, but you can't send all 3 at once. We can only do it one at a time. And we're gonna do that by adding a loop node. Type in loop, loop over items. Batch size 1, execute. So when you're testing, it will only execute 1. But when you have the workflow completed, it will execute all of your items. Let's delete this one. Delete that for now. Okay, now we want to feed that into our scraper. So now that you have an account, type in YouTube scraper. And we want this one by streamers. Hit that. Now hit try it for free. So the first thing you want to do, you want to get your API and your endpoints and all that. The beauty with this is that it has everything all in one. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Just follow along exactly what I do. So you're gonna go over to API in the top right-hand corner, select API endpoints, then go down to run actor synchronously and get dataset items. Copy that. Once you have that copied, you're gonna go over to your end, hit this plus sign here, type in HTTP request. And here the method says get, but if you look over here to post, and a post method just means that we're sending information to that website or our scraper. Then you're gonna paste that link that you copied here. Do not let anyone see this. That is your Apify code. It will expose you. The next thing we want to do is click send body, leave that as JSON, and under specify body, select using JSON. Now we're gonna head back to our scraper, exit out of this. Then we're gonna mess with some settings, right? So search items, delete whatever's here, maximum videos per search. I set mine to 5, but you can set yours to however much you want. And direct URLs, meaning the URLs of your competitors. For now, we're not gonna mess with it. We're gonna just type in placeholder because we're gonna change this later on. I'll show you in a minute. Scraping subtitles, you can if you want to. I left that blank. For filters, I wanted to sort by view count, and date range, I set it to relative. So click relative. You can set it to whatever you want. Within the last 6 months, within the last 2 months, 3 months, within the last couple weeks, years, whatever. I set mine to 30 days and I wanted to sort by popularity. You can sort by newest to oldest. Then you want to hit save. Then you want to head over, scroll up and click JSON, right? And then make sure you highlight everything, even the yellow brackets, everything. Copy that and then paste it here. Let's change this to an expression first, then enlarge it. And you look through it. And you remember when I typed in placeholder? It's right here. Delete that because we're gonna drag over our channel. And this is basically a variable. So this is a JSON, and on the right side will be the result. So the result will be this YouTube channel. So we're gonna send this to that Apify scraper. And in return, they're gonna give us all the information that we want. Hit execute, that are pulled. All right, this is all the information that was pulled. Title, type, ID, URL, thumbnail, everything. Make sure you pin this data so you don't have to repeatedly run this node. Next, we wanna make sure we sort this by view count. So hit the plus sign, type in sort, hit that. Field name will be view count. So just go ahead and drag that over, descending. So most at the top. We'll have 5 videos right now. So let's see if it works. So 69,000, 11, 8,000. So it worked. Now we want to pull that data that we actually want to keep from that scraper. To do that, let's hit the plus sign and then type in edit. So we're gonna select edit fields and we're gonna map out the things that we want. So the first thing, channel name, we want that. I'm actually gonna go to table view. All right, we want title, we want the URL, we want the thumbnail URL, we want the view count, we want the number of likes. There's a ton of data that you can actually choose from, even like the description, but I'm gonna go with this for now. Let's go ahead and test this step, pulls it all in nicely. The next thing we wanna do is add an AI agent. So you can just type in AI agent, click that, and we're gonna go to define below, change this to an expression, video title, colon, and then we're gonna drag over this title JSON, okay? Then we're gonna add a system prompt, change this to an expression. Let's enlarge it. By default, it's gonna say you are a helpful assistant. I'm gonna go ahead and paste in a prompt. Basically what it says, you are an AI agent designed to analyze YouTube video titles and break down the elements that contribute to a high click-through rate. Your task is to identify the key phrases or words that make the title enticing, engaging, and clickable. Your goal, extract 1 to 3 specific phrases or power words from the title. I'm not gonna read all of this, but this is my prompt. You can go ahead and copy this, or you can customize it yourself. Next, you're gonna add a chat model. I'm already connected to an OpenAI chat model, so I'm gonna go with that. But if you don't, go ahead, click create new credential. To get your API key, just go Google, type in ChatGPT API. Click that, then log in, go to dashboard, go to API keys, create a new secret key, label it whatever, copy that key. You may also have to add a little bit of money, maybe like $5. I added $5 maybe like 6 months ago and I've been using this nonstop. So it really doesn't take much. To add some money, hit the gear icon, go to billing and add about $5. Paste your API key here, hit save and you should be good to go. For the model, I went with 4.1 mini. I think that's plenty enough. Let's test this step real quick. All right, cool. Next, we want AI to analyze the thumbnail. So we're gonna add another guy. So type in OpenAI, there it is, and then go to Analyze Image. Choose model. I've been using the 4.0 latest. So for the prompt, I'm gonna enlarge this, delete that, and then I'm gonna paste in my prompt. I'll just read the overview for you. You are an AI agent trained to analyze YouTube thumbnails and break down why they have a high click-through rate. Your task is to examine a thumbnail image and provide insights into the elements that make it effective. You guys can go ahead and copy my prompt, but again, you can also customize this exactly how you want it. Next, we're gonna have to drag in our thumbnail URL. So go ahead and drag your thumbnail URL right in there, okay? Let's test this step. All right, so it's done cooking and it's a lot of data. So if you want to shorten this, just go ahead and type a little something right here, like make sure it's short and brief, whatever. But I'm gonna move forward. And if you're wondering how I connected all 3 nodes to this single sort node, I just pressed this dot right here and then added the node. Because now what we wanna do is merge all 3, okay? To do that, we're gonna use a merge node. So there are nodes that do require like some credits. If you don't want to continue to run those nodes, just pin it. So I'm going to pin this AI agent one and also this analyze image one. And they also take the longest. And pinning is just saving the data. For this merge node, what we're going to do, we're going to combine everything, right? Combine by position. There's going to be 3. Let's see. And then make sure they're all connected. All right, so I'm going to connect this to here, and then this to here. Let's execute this step. Okay. Everything looks good so far. Now we're gonna have to add everything back into our Google Sheet. If we go to our Google Sheets, this is the second tab. If you look over the bottom left, I labeled it analysis. The columns that I'm gonna need are channel, title, URL, thumbnail, views, likes, the power words of the title, and the thumbnail analysis. Okay. We're gonna go back to edit end, hit this plus sign, type in Google Sheets. We're gonna append or update a row. Hit that, use that same account that we connected to earlier. Then from list, choose that same Google Sheets document. There it is. And then the sheet that we're using, remember, was analysis. So now we're using analysis. From here, we're just dragging and dropping. Channel name, title, URL, thumbnail, view count, likes. This is the output of the power words of the title. Drop that in there. And then this is our thumbnail analysis. Drop that in there. This should now populate into our Google Sheets once I execute. Okay, it didn't work because I chose append or update row. Let's just go with append row because we're not adding this to an existing row. So my bad, but this should work now. All right, let's go ahead and check. Yep, it's all there. Think media. The breakdowns are all there. Everything seems to be there. If I were to do this again, I would prompt it to kind of make this analysis a little bit shorter, unless you want that. And again, you would do that here, thumbnail analysis, and prompt it here and say, hey, make it brief. Last thing we want to do is loop it back to our loop node, right? Because we only scraped and analyzed 1 creator, and there's 2 others on the list that need to run through this workflow as well. So what you'll do now, you'll just loop this back over to this loop node. And this is basically telling this node that, hey, I'm done with that first one. I'm ready for the next 2. So this loop node will now send the next 2 channels over to run through this workflow and analyze the title and thumbnails for you. So once this is all built out, make sure you unpin all your data. Just select it and hit this unpin button for everything that's pinned. Then you want to hit active. So to activate it, just hit that, hit got it, and make sure you have your 3 channels that you want to analyze. Check out this video if you want to learn how to create a workflow that analyzes your competitors' top TikTok videos and develops a strategy tailored just for you. If you want to learn more about AI and how it can grow your channel or your business, subscribe to my channel.